we introduce you to the 4 new members of the Pacific West Conference: Fresno Pacific, Point Loma Nazarene, Holy Names, and the school with the top athletics program in the NAIA last year, Azusa Pacific. Join Bob Hogue and Wayne Coito as we bring you highlights from our fall sports, from Hawaii to California to Arizona and Utah. Welcome to the brand new edition of PacWest Magazine. We're here in Southern California at the home of Azusa Pacific University, one of the brand new schools in the PacWest. And there are 4 of them. There's also Fresno Pacific, Holy Names, and Point Loma Nazarene University in San Diego. So let's learn more about these brand new schools.
Over the years, the PacWest has meant tremendous excellence on the court and on the field, with many national championship winners. It has also meant great efforts in the classroom, with our member schools posting a conference-wide GPA of 3.07 last year. And outstanding community service and community engagement projects as well. 10 members strong last year with schools in Hawaii, California, Arizona, and Utah. We're proud to call ourselves the most beautiful destination conference in the NCAA. And now in 2012-13, we're even bigger, adding 4 new schools in California, who all started competing for PacWest championships this fall: Azusa Pacific, Fresno Pacific, Holy Names, and Point Loma. Let's start in the south, where Point Loma calls San Diego home. The campus is located along the shores of the Pacific Ocean, with its athletic complex featuring stunning views. The Sea Lions have a great history of athletic accomplishment, and you can understand why Athletic Director Ethan Hamilton is so excited about joining the PacWest.
We have a great balance of student athlete and person, and I think our goal is always for our student athletes to have the best experience possible, and excited about some of the experiences that come within the PacWest. So that's really exciting.
Over 100 miles up the road in the greater metropolitan area of Los Angeles sits beautiful Azusa Pacific, a rapidly growing university with one of the most heralded athletic programs in college sports. The Cougars had won 8 straight NAIA Directors' Cups before joining Division II and the PacWest this season. Here's Athletic Director Gary Pine.
I think probably the most famous athlete we've ever had is Christian Okoye, a former NFL Pro Bowler with the Kansas City Chiefs. In fact, when his career was done, he was the Chiefs' leading rusher. He was AFC MVP back in the late 1980s. Along with that, we have 2008 Olympic gold medalist in the decathlon, Brian Clay, who was also the silver medalist in the 2004 Olympics in Athens. We have been blessed to have some tremendous athletes there, and that most of them, other than Christian Okoye, grew up there in Southern California, and it's a deep recruiting pool. Our coaches have embraced this change of joining the NCAA, of coming into the PacWest with great enthusiasm. It's been an opportunity to raise the bar, new challenges, and the coaches have not even looked back.
The Sunbirds of Fresno Pacific are the 3rd entry from the NAIA ranks of the GSAC Conference. The teams from FPU have also earned a rich presence in the list of recent national championships. Athletic Director Dennis Jansen is proud that the PacWest has now come to Central California.
We bring, I think, a program with a history of success and fairly high-profile success in Central California in that particular region to the NCAA. Really, there's very little NCAA presence other than Division I presence in Central California, and so we do bring that in terms of, new market, new awareness, new brand for the NCAA. Fresno Pacific has been branded and is viewed as a very positive, progressive place. And so I think we can bring that to the NCAA and to the PacWest.
Finally, up in the Bay Area in the hills of Oakland sits Holy Names University. The Hawks are the latest arrival to the PacWest and have shown terrific exuberance in their transition to the ranks of NCAA Division II. Here's Athletic Director Dennis Jones.
We are in a beautiful location, like a lot of other schools in the conference. We're unique because we are, I think a lot of universities talk about diversity and how to get there and become more diverse. We just are. We're not really an urban campus, we're in Oakland, California, but we're up out of the city. But we're 5 minutes from downtown Oakland, 20 minutes from San Francisco, and our student body really reflects the East Bay or the Bay Area itself. So just the diversity is amazing, and our students are great, and they come from all walks of life. I mean, it's tremendous. We get a lot of first generation students. I mean, it's really a very unique place.
The addition of these 4 outstanding schools brings the PacWest to 14 member institutions and 15 overall sports. That makes us the largest conference in the West region of NCAA Division II.
Selfishly for Cal Baptist, it lets us play some schools that we're used to playing, and it lets us start up some rivalries again with Azusa Pacific and Point Loma and Fresno, and that's very exciting for us and very exciting for our fans.
We are excited that many of our colleagues from the old GSAC came with us, and yet we get to now renew some of the relationships that we had years and years ago with the Hawaiian schools and with the Bay Area schools. So we're just really excited to be in a group of people that we're very familiar with and comfortable with.
We believed it would renew some of the rivalries with Dominican and Notre Dame especially, and we've seen that happen almost immediately.
I think we're excited too to see what we can do, especially I would say in these next 3 or 4 years as some of those younger teams become a little more experienced and savvy with the different trips and travel that it takes to be successful. But I think it's not going to change who we are whatsoever as an institution and campus, and still with the main focus of developing young people for the future.
We're excited that these 4 outstanding schools have joined the PacWest, making us not only the most beautiful destination conference, but also one of the strongest athletic conferences in NCAA Division II. Yet another reason why we're proud to call ourselves the PacWest.
I chose Division II because athletes graduate at a higher rate.
I can stay closer to home
and be an important part of the community.
I chose Division II because I can double major
and take part in campus activities.
I chose Division II because classrooms are smaller.
Students have more time with their instructors.
And I can compete for a national championship.
I chose Division II for all these reasons and more.
I chose
Division
II.
Imagine collaborating with a diverse group of people from different backgrounds who all share common values. A place where giving back to the community is not only encouraged, but expected. Where your professor is not just a teacher, but a mentor. Imagine a place where individual leadership is prized. Imagine Chaminade University.
It doesn't look like your average university, because it isn't. Just 12 miles from San Francisco is an urban oasis where students go beyond the classroom, helping businesses become sustainable, fighting breast cancer, athletes who excel and serve the community. And here, you don't just study history, you help make it.
PacWest Commissioner Bob Hogue in Honolulu, Hawaii, where the PacWest means incredible competition in all of our sports.
Coming off a difficult loss to BYU Hawaii just a few nights before, nationally ranked Grand Canyon looked to get back on track with a win at Hawaii Pacific. The team in purple got off to a fast and furious start, but the Sea Warriors would match the Antelopes point for point early in the match. A win for the Lopes in Honolulu would put the team at 3-1 for the 4-game Hawaii swing, and with a big front line, GCU would make it hard for the Sea Warriors to get in motion. This big block by Lady Mize and Kristen Preach gave the Lopes a 16-14 lead. But HBU would make up the deficit, and with the score at 21-21, 2 straight GCU errors plus a huge block by Elizabeth Culpepper and Amanda Moriarty would give HBU game point. A big kill from Preach on the right side coupled with an HBU error tied the game at 24-all. With 2 big kills from Casey Thompson and Haley Dorfler, it looked like the Sea Warriors had wrapped it up. But the Antelopes would push the score to 26-all, and that's when Kristen Johansson took over. Along with teammates Haley Fremont and Sydney McDowell, the GCU middle blocker brought Grand Canyon from behind to take the intense first set at a score of 28-26. In Game 2, HBU put up their own block party, here behind Samantha Rummins, who had a game-high 15 kills. Assisting Rummins on the night was her dynamic setter, Pihana Kea, who chipped in 3 kills of her own on the night, this one helping to lead the Sea Warriors to a 25-21 second set victory. The Antelopes would shoot out of the blocks in the third game, taking very little time to put a 7-point lead on the home team. But the Thompson kill from the back row put the Sea Warriors back in the match. A Rummins tip shot would eventually give HBU the lead in a surprising turnaround, but 2 straight Janae Giles kills, followed by the McDowell McSlam, would pull the visitors and took game point. And at 24-23, Kristen Preach with a little more finesse, catching the Sea Warriors off guard to take Game 3. Game 4 would be all Antelopes, who despite only hitting 131 on the night, got a team-high 14 kills from Janae Giles and another 10 from Johansson, whose kill here on match point sent home the visitors with another big PacWest victory in the Islands.
I love playing Hawaii Pacific because the athletes are they're similar. Like I said, if you look on paper, we are very evenly matched, and it was intense, as you guys saw. It was exciting. There were long rallies. Neither team, I mean, obviously we came out with a win, but Hawaii Pacific did a great job keeping pressure on us, keeping balls off the court, getting us out of system, and we did the same thing. We just made less errors in that last game.
It was so great. I thought our team did really well coming in. I mean, obviously traveling to Hawaii, there's a lot of distractions, and I thought our team did really well coming in and playing. We had a little rough start and rough in between, but I think we finished off this trip really strong and got it all back, and excited to go home and continue our winning streak.
It was good. I think we had a little bit of a downfall there, and people kind of lost confidence, and sometimes you run out of things to say, so I think we kind of found our way back individually and as a team. Everyone's on board, and we just get along so well together, and it's easy for us to play together on or off the court. It's fantastic.
This is what we want to show to people is that Division II at the highest level is unbelievable volleyball. It was exciting, obviously, we don't like the end result. L's are no fun, W's are way more fun, but it was just highly entertaining and just can show to people what level we are showing. I think we're all in there. I think our conference, you can already tell the strength of our conference is tough. I mean, we are taking over the region in terms of how high of level our volleyball is.
I've unfortunately been to Hawaii when I've gone 0-4 a couple times. But I think for this ball club at this point in the season, with the losses to BYU last night and then Fresno last week, I think it is a turning point for them. It builds a little bit of confidence. It gives us a little momentum going back. In 2 days, or 3 days, we play Azusa Pacific at home. So it's a huge win.
Now, that tells us what this school is being built for which it's being built. And from this school, I'll tell you,
from this school
will go men and women.
Will go men and women.
Whose influence would be felt.
Whose influence will be felt.
For good.
For good towards the establishment.
Towards the establishment.
Of Peace International.
Of peace.
Of peace. Of peace.
Of Peace International.
When you look at your future, what do you see? Accomplishment? Skills put to good use? Opportunities? Be your own success story with a graduate degree from Hawaii Pacific University. Hawaii Pacific University. Get where you want to go.
Hey, when you're not watching PacWest Magazine, you can always find us on the web. We're at thepacwest.com. There you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and check out our YouTube channel where you can see more PacWest Magazine. Now let's go to this story from around the PacWest. Hi, this is Wayne Coito, and you're watching PacWest TV at thepacwest.com. The Pacific West Conference is now one of the largest Division II conferences in the entire nation, with 14 schools. 4 of those schools is in the Bay Area. So let's go to Northern California and check in with our Commissioner, Bob Hogue.
Hi everybody, I'm PacWest Commissioner Bob Hogue, here at the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, where it turns out there's lots of good reasons to get excited about the PacWest.
Dominican's brand new Kennelly Field at the John F. Allen Athletics Complex was the site of the early season men's soccer battle between Dixie State and the home team Penguins. With a combined 38 shot attempts for both teams, the goalies in this one would be very busy. The Penguins would strike first. Off the nicely placed corner kick by teammate Swat Luciana, Corey Vanderpool managed to jam the ball right in to give his team the early 1-0 lead. Soon after the Vanderpool goal, here's Dominican's Colby Whitnick on the attack. The Red Storm with the opportunity to tie the game. Seth Acevedo off the long cross has a nice look at the goal, but Eric Anderson, who was there all night for the Penguins, was able to make the stop. The Red Storm in this one would suffer several close calls. Eric Christensen's well-hit cross off the free kick could not be converted off the header, and there's another missed chance for Dixie State to tie the game. And with his team starting to seize control, here's Dominican's Fabian Valdez with the fancy footwork to shake his defender and the give and go to his teammate, but the Valdez shot would be a little too wide. But in the 68th minute of the contest, Mitnick puts a great fake on his defender and drops the ball off to David Mendez, who finishes the play and puts the Penguins up 2-0. And that would be the game's final score. The win over Dixie launched Dominican to its best start in 16 years, giving Coach John Delano's team a much-needed win over a solid Red Storm program.
You know, but I think the important thing is to get wins, especially when you're at home. You know, I think this is a great opportunity for us to turn this environment into a real home field atmosphere. And, you know, I think it really suits the way that we try and play. But, you know, to go 1-1, be 1-1 in conference after 2 games is very important. I thought for the better part of the game, I thought we were the better team.
You know, honestly, I don't have a dancing for you. Sometimes I just react and just make the save. But if I can see as much of the ball as possible, kind of read their hips, their body language, see where they want to put it, that's always helpful. Especially in the beginning of the second half, we wanted to get forward a lot and kind of got stretched out defensively. So they just kept kind of coming in. And then as we kind of settled down more, it became a little easier for us to kind of possess the ball defensively.
Well, I think it's a bit of a process of building, you know, and when you look at our season last year, even though the results didn't go the way that we wanted, we started 9 freshmen and 2 sophomores. And, you know, it's never good when you're missing Pedro at the beginning of the season, and obviously having him back and then mixing him in with Swat Mushiana and having a little bit of some veteran leadership in there, mixed in with some of the young guys. I think, you know, we're starting to see the fruits of all the hard work that we put in last year.
using this expression from kinematics.
With the given interval, does the integral diverge?
And the appropriate substitution would be? What then is the acceleration of the center of mass? Anyone awake? You in the far back. You back there?
You got to be kidding.
Where did you come up with that? You.
You?
You? Yeah, no. How about you? Mm-hmm. You in the white.
Not just a job search, a journey. Not just a call to arms, a calling. Not just a paycheck, a path. We're all here for a purpose. Find yours at Grand Canyon University.
Welcome back to PacWest Magazine. I'm your commissioner, Bob Hogue. You know, we've got great stories in our PacWest Magazine vault. A look at some of the stories that we've aired over the years. Let's go inside the vault right now. The California Baptist University Lancers have made a huge impact in their first year in the PacWest, earning titles in 4 sports this past fall and playing into title contention in 2 more sports this winter. This spring, they've been just as impressive on the diamond. The Lancers softball team has a very proud history, and they showed their strength throughout the early season in their transition from NAIA to NCAA Division II. In a recent tournament game in Riverside, CBU pounded out 13 hits in a 13-0 pounding of visiting Colorado Christian. The Lancers' scoring output is indicative of their ability to put together huge scoring rallies. In this game, they had a 6-run inning and a 7-run inning. Meanwhile, in the pitcher's circle, Tori Ferreira strutted her stuff in a big way as she tossed a shutout and picked up her 5th straight victory to start the season. For sure, California Baptist will be one of the top contenders in a very exciting PacWest softball race this season. Meanwhile, just down the way at Totman Baseball Stadium, the Lancers were locked in a thrilling doubleheader with PacWest rival Academy of Art. CBU had taken the first game by a score of 6-5, but they trailed in the second game by a score of 2-1 through the first 5 innings. RU's Wade Broadstreet had done an outstanding job on the pitcher's mound for the visiting Urban Knights as he struck out 6 of the first 9 hitters he faced. RU was hoping to pull off a big upset. Meanwhile, Jesse Arriola was pitching equally well for Cal Baptist. He had 11 strikeouts in the game and tried to keep his team close until the final at-bats. The Lancers would put together a mini rally in the bottom of the 7th inning, and they came back to tie the game at 2-2. But their wish to win their 2nd straight game of the day in the bottom of the 7th would not come true, as Ryan Caters was gunned down at the plate trying to score on a sacrifice fly on a nice play by the Urban Knights. Remember Caters' name because he would be an important factor later on. With the score now tied at 2-2, the game went into extra innings, and in the top of the first extra frame, RU got runners into scoring position. But CBU pitcher Jesse Arriola pitched himself out of the jam to keep the score tied. Then in the bottom of the inning, the Lancers rallied to get a runner on third with 2 outs. And that's when Caters came to the plate again and laced a 2-out game-winning single as California Baptist had pulled off its 2nd straight walk-off victory with a thrilling 3-2 extra inning win over Academy of Art. It was his first hit of the season and the first game winner of his baseball career.
I was thinking if this guy throws me a fastball on the outside part of the plate, I'm gonna get after it, and thankfully it fell for me, and so I was just really excited to get after that pitch. Honestly, I was just really excited. I was probably smiling from ear to ear, but it's just the kind of stuff you dream about. That's the kind of opportunity you want, and I was just really excited and felt blessed to have that opportunity.
Yeah, it was kind of hard starting at first. You know, after I've been, you know, itching to get at a win, and you know, I came into this game 0-1, and then, you know, I was coming to the game. I was, you know, they scored those 2 runs you see on the board, and I just knew that if I kept, you know, getting ahead of hitters, putting up zeros, and just giving my team momentum, that I would eventually, you know, they would be prepared enough to come out on top.
You know, it wouldn't have been possible without the effort that we got on the mound. You know, we got down early, but yet Jesse was able to keep us in the ball game, and their starting pitcher was doing a great job at keeping us off balance, and fortunately for us, we were able to get the leadoff guy on and manufacture something there in the later innings to come back and win one.
What can I say about Wade Broadstreet? He came in as a walk-on, as a shortstop, and after our first series, he said, "Coach, I can pitch." I said, "Really?" I said, "Okay, let's get a couple bullpens in." He came in, got a start, did a fantastic job. And the more I watch him, the more I see the big-time competitiveness in him. Our program has grown immensely. The kids are getting more competitive, getting more serious, and I'm looking for good things ahead of us.
So a big win for California Baptist and a tough loss for Art U as the 2 teams showed why PacWest baseball will be exciting every pitch this season.
Thanks for joining us for this special edition of PacWest Magazine from Azusa Pacific University in Southern California. For Bob Hogue, I'm Wayne Coito. We'll see you next time on PacWest Magazine.